Hi, and welcome to EDUC 385, History, Culture, and Society. The CRN is 1547. This is Spring 24, Session 2. I want to welcome you to this course. It's going to be a very intense 8 weeks, and I'm hoping you're ready to move along quickly, because that's what happens in an 8-week course, and I'm just giving you some advance warning up front. We are in D2L Brightspace. As you know, that will be our new learning management system come fall, but some of us are already starting a little bit early. And if you haven't had a course in D2L, then you may experience a little challenging situation with some of the things, not everything. My students who have used it so far have told me that it's fairly user-friendly, and they've been able to do many things that they thought they might have difficulty doing. So I'm still learning it myself, and so I hope you'll have some grace with me, and I will certainly have some grace with you and some patience in regards to the course, and you can ask lots of questions along the way if you need to. This is an asynchronous course, which means that you'll be working independently, except each week there is one group work activity that you will work with a group of people and post it as a group. This is something that is required as a certified online teacher that I must do, is provide some group work in some fashion. So that's what you will be involved in as a group, but the other activities will be independent. So I'm going to walk you through the course. There will be another video that you'll see each week about specifically the work individually. This course won't be about that per se. It will talk about some of the major assignments. It will talk about how the Brightspace is set up for you in this course. And so I'm hoping you will view this to the very end. So I did not introduce myself. I'm Dr. Andy Steck. Some of you have already had me. I'm looking forward to working with all of you and meeting people I have not met yet. Here's some information. I do have office hours on campus, usually on Wednesday afternoons, but I would email me first just to check to make sure I'm there. Otherwise, virtually, you can catch me anytime you need me, and if we need to jump on Zoom and you can share your screen, or if I need to share my screen, we can do that as well. So this is the course homepage. What you'll see here that you don't see now is an announcement, and that announcement will appear by tomorrow when the course opens, but you will see it. The next page is a very important page. This is the one you'll probably go to quite often, and on here is the table of contents. And you'll see everything listed here that you need to. All the modules are listed here, so you will see that as well. The first one being course resources that I'm going to run through with you right now. But the one you'll go to each week is this weekly lesson module that I'll talk to you about. And the major assignments, you'll have a major assignment every week that's due, starting with, I think, week 2 or 3. And we'll go through that. You'll be writing several lesson plans, writing objectives. Here are some anti-racism resources, and those are the modules. So we're in the course resources, and I want to run through with that. Here's a welcome letter that's very similar to what you see in the announcement and the email that I have sent you. Now, this is the 8-week course disclaimer, just telling you that it's very intense. It's 16 weeks packed into 8 weeks. So you need to know we don't lighten up on the work because you're in an 8-week course. The work is just compacted to fit the 8 weeks when we normally would be teaching it through a 16-week course. So it will take a little bit of your time, a little extra time to make sure you get through it. Please try not to get behind, because once you do, it's very hard to get caught up again. But and this is the video here that you're looking at. I've also sent it to, I put it in the announcement. I've sent it to you also in an email, so you can start looking at that right away. This is the course syllabus. We'll run through the syllabus in just a little bit. This is the course schedule. This is very important. If you click on this, I'm sorry. I'm just going to show you the course schedule, and hopefully that will appear. You'll have to download it, it looks like. Okay, I'm going to bring that up so you just can see it because I'm using two monitors here. But here's the course schedule. It talks about the topic, the chapter, and what major assignment doing. You can see here in the second week, you will need to be turning in your annual pacing schedule. So you'll need to go to the major assignments to see what that one's all about and what you need to do in regards to completing that and turning that in week 2. But each week there is something due. So you just need to know in 8 weeks, it's a very fast-paced course. I'm going to go out and go back to the management system. So let me go back here. All right, so that's the schedule. Here are some university resources that you might want to take a look at if you're having some trouble with technology. Here is the support you would receive for maybe your password's not working, you can't get into D2L. This is where you might go to find out who you would contact. This is the Wilson Library link if you need to use the library. This is our handbook for educational studies, and this is just some great information about me if you want to read up on all about me. Those are the resources. When I go to the weekly lesson module, you'll see this is the first week here, and I will go through this specifically in the first week module video, so you'll have a better understanding of what you will need to do in the first week. And each week you click on this and you will see. You don't see any more. You see it here that it's hidden, but if you look on yours, you won't see anything that's hidden. This is the instructor view that you're taking a look at right now. I'm going to move down to major assignments. Major assignments are also, excuse me, major assignments are also in the syllabus, but I do want to go walk through these with you a little bit here. The first one is the annual pacing schedule. Dropbox every summer, or teachers get together and they work on pacing out their curriculum for the subject they're teaching. It might be social studies, it could be math, it could be English language arts. I'm asking you to create an annual pacing schedule, and I have some templates here if you want. If you have a social studies book that you would like to create your own pacing schedule, and you're going to be developing the units, you're going to be developing standards, or you will use standards that go along with that topic or that unit of instruction. And you'll also put in a couple of samples of activities that you might do under that topic. Not only are there the the guides here that you can use. You can pick one of these. You can also look at some exemplars for 2 other grades. You're welcome to pick any grade. You do not need to pick, but I'm giving you a pacing guide for 1st, 3rd, and 5th, so you don't have to create the pacing guide. You just create the content for the pacing guide. Otherwise, if you want to create the content in that, and I'll give you extra credit if you want to do grades 4, 6, or anywhere higher, 7th, 8th, 9th, you're welcome to do that. But this is the pacing. So take a look at this. This is the explanation for it. But this is first assignment is due week 2. The next is a twin text assignment. You're going to take a look at 2 children's literature books. It could be a textbook, it could be nonfiction, but you're also looking at 2 books on the same topic and how they could align themselves that you would use. And then this is the description. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do to put in your into the content you need to put into this assignment. You're welcome to look at the criteria form for that as well, and there are a couple of exemplars that you can see what previous students have done. Your cultural learning experience, you're going to go off to visit some location, some place that's not the same as your culture. You're going to experience a different culture. Maybe you're going to go to a restaurant of a different culture than what your culture is. You're going to experience eating different foods, looking at it at the menu, and you're going to write this experience up. You could go to a church, a church other than your own. You could go to a festival. There's just a variety of places. You could go to a temple if you're not of that culture, and you're going to write about that experience. The sky's the limit. Just know that I think that's within like the first 4 weeks, so make sure you schedule out when these assignments are due. I'll remind you, but you also need to look at that course schedule that I showed you, that you find in the course resources, to make sure you know what chapters to read in the textbook, what topics we're going to be talking about, and what major assignments are due and when they are due. You're going to take a look at an integrated lesson plan assignment. You're going to actually create a lesson plan that integrates two subject areas, one of them being social studies. It could be social studies in math. It could be social studies in English language arts. It could be social studies in phys ed. It could be social studies in music. But it has to, one of the subject area, because we're looking at teaching social studies here, is using that as part of the content for this lesson plan. And you're going to integrate those two subject areas into creating a lesson plan. Here's an exemplar for you if you do need to look at that as well. Then you're going to create a unit plan. A unit plan is a topic, a large topic, and you will probably see those in your annual pacing schedule that you created. You're going to take one of those topics, you're going to create some overview of the topic, and then you're going to create 3 lesson plans that would be sequential. I'm not saying they have to be one after the other, but you might have a beginning lesson plan for the beginning of your unit, a middle lesson plan, and then a culminating lesson plan. So you might do 3, but I do have to note that sequentially that I can see that they build off of each other. And I do need to see that when you create that. That will be 3. So far, right now, you're creating 4 lesson plans in this class. You're actually going to practice with one, I think, within the first week or the second week to write a lesson plan. And you're going to actually modify one that you find online using the Educational Studies lesson plan template. And I'll show you where that is. A major project that you get credit for community service, and that's your requirement to graduate. And that's why you don't take that 1-hour community service class. You get credit within this class, and you don't have to take the 1-hour class, but you do have to fulfill this part to get the credit. If you don't fulfill this part in this class, then you will not get the credit, the requirement to graduate, and you'll have to take the 1-hour credit on top of taking this class as well. So you need to find some place you're going to volunteer. It's not a place that you volunteer and get paid. You can't get paid. You volunteer and paid, that's redundant. So you are going to you're going to find some place, somewhere that you're going to volunteer. It could be at the school you work at, if you work at a school, but you can't be paid to do it. You have to do something above and beyond, and you do need to get approval from me on this. And you do need to put 20 hours in. So you need to start soon because you only have 8 weeks to complete this project. And you do need to go outside of your room or outside of the classroom and create this project. It cannot be someplace that you already are paid. If you already are volunteering someplace, you can certainly use that. You're more than welcome to use that. But it has to be a place that you volunteer, and then you're going to actually write up, you're going to tell the dates of when you volunteered and exactly what the tasks were you did during that time, and you're going to write an overview or a reflection. I will share more about that as we go along, but that's something to think about right off the bat. So please do that. You're going to create, using an AI tool, you're going to create some instruction for students at any grade level you want in a social studies lesson or in social studies instruction. You don't necessarily have to write a lesson plan, but you do have to talk about how you're using the instruction and what does it look like? What is it? Did you develop a quiz? Did you develop a slide presentation? Did you develop a game using AI? You have to use AI to build a new instruction. You're going to find out by using AI in your instruction, it's going to cut time in half. It's going to cut time immensely in regards to what it takes to actually create some instruction using artificial intelligence, AI. This is the assignment for that. I have a couple of exemplars here for you. And last but not least, my favorite assignment is your final exam or your e-portfolio. This is a time you're going to showcase all of the assignments that you've created and that you've been graded on over the 8 weeks. And you're going to put this all together and create a showcase of your work. You're going to reflect on that. And you're also going to include a page of resources you would use as a social studies teacher, things that you either collected, have collected, or things that you found in this class that you would like to keep and use in your classroom one day. So you will also add that page too. And then you're going to create a screencast. You're going to show your ePortfolio and you're going to talk about 3 things. Which assignment or which part of the class was the most challenging, which was maybe your favorite or one that you liked the most, and which one best represents you as a social studies teacher. Now, you're welcome to use any ePortfolio that you know, the platform that you know. So if you already have an ePortfolio from another class, you're more than welcome to create a social studies page and use that. If you don't, you can look at Digication, you can look at Canva, you can look at Google Sites. There are several out there. WordPress, Wix, there are several out there you can use, and you can develop your own. The university will support you in helping you, assisting you with Digication if you use Digication as your ePortfolio. Here are some examples that I put here of the screencast and of the ePortfolio. Those are the major assignments. They are due alongside the weekly work that you will be doing online as well. So these are all found over here in the table of contents under the major assignments. Okay? And they're listed here. I'm going to move along to the next. This folder is very important. It's the lesson plans and objectives, this module you will be looking at, because you do need to write all of your objectives in your lesson plans using the ABCD model. If you haven't had me, you need to check this for sure, but I am a stickler about using what is a very simple way to write objectives, and that you will actually people who read your objective will understand what you're looking for mastery level. And that's exactly what happens when you use a very simply structured ABCD model for writing objectives that not only are observable, but measurable. And if you have some confusion about that, please take a look at this. That is a document. There's also a video that you can watch as well. Here are action verbs so that you know what is visible and not visible. So if you say the student will understand, that's not observable. How will they understand? They either will have to write it, or they'll have to sing it, or they'll have to discuss it some way that you will be able to observe and see that they are doing what you're asking them to do. Here's a list of diverse learners. You do not need that for the template as well. You'll see that. Here are some ELA Common Core Standards if you want. You can also look at the Social Studies Common Core Standards. This is the new, and that's not new anymore, but it used to be the Educational Studies lesson plan that's explained in a video. This is the template that you will use for each of your lesson plans that you write. So this is an important folder, as you can tell. I'm not going to go through the anti-racism resources, but you're welcome to look at those as well, and you may find something there you might like to use in the course. I'm trying to think what I want to do. I'm going to go back to the course resources module, and I want to go to the syllabus and show you the syllabus. So please give me a second while I bring this up. There we go. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted it to do, and it did what it did. So anyways, this is the syllabus, and I'm going to walk you through the syllabus a little bit. In regards to the syllabus, again, my office hours are Wednesdays, usually 11:30 to 2 p.m., but please call me ahead of time or email me and ask me if I will be there on campus, because some weeks I'm not. Other weeks I might have some meetings, but I will make time for you. I will make time for you if you want to visit with me on campus. I will also make time for you if you want to jump on Zoom to talk to me about something in regard to Zoom. We're going to keep moving along here. Here are the goals that you can read through. And here is the mission and vision statements. Here are the dispositions. And I love the dispositions and the core values that we have at La Fetra. And one of my favorites is here. Can you tell which one? I don't know if you know me well enough. People who had me before will know. is social emotional learning. It was one of those positions we didn't have, but several of us professors have thought that and think it's very important. In fact, if you know anything about social emotional learning, you know if you build on the social emotional learning curriculum in your classroom, your students will be more successful in your academic curriculum. And it's so, so important. Sometimes teachers say, I teach content. I don't teach about life skills, but you do have to teach life skills too. Kids need to know that. And when they do know those, then they are much more confident in their academic skills. But all of these other dispositions are also very, very important too. I just had to point that out. Here's a textbook. It's called Dynamic Social Studies. You do need to purchase this or rent that or somehow find a student who may have bought it before that you can borrow it. Any way you can get it online in the textbooks or wherever you can find it the least expensive, please do it. I do offer, I think, the first 2 chapters and the first week, so don't panic. If you think, the textbook won't come in until the 3rd week, that's okay. I think you'll be okay otherwise, but don't delay in getting it ordered. You will need to use that. This is the course description. I'm going to allow you to read that at your own leisure when you want to. These are the goals for the course. I've gone through the course assignments, but they are here again in case you do need them. I'm scrolling quickly. I don't mean to do that to you, but I just want you to be alerted that they are here as well. The description is at least, and you can then take a look at that. But I would definitely go to the course resources in D2L Brightspace, and I would look at specifically what it's stating for you to do. Please use these because this will help you. Sometimes people don't use the assignment description, and then they don't do exactly what they need to do. Excuse me, I'm sorry. When we're done with the total points and you see what your percentage is, then you can convert that to the letter grade, and you'll see that here. But I'll tell you about that toward the end of the semester. Here's the university diversity statement. We also have a hotline and a support. It says support email. It says I only have one support there, but it is the if you need to use this phone number. And this is not if you're having problems with me or the course, but if you have something, maybe an issue with your private life or something that's not going well and you need to reach out to somebody, that's what this hotline is for. Maybe you think that I haven't returned your emails or gotten back to you and you've been asking me over and over, which won't happen. I'm pretty quick about returning your emails, probably within the minute you write it. If I know that I see it and I'm at the computer, I'll send you back a response. But if, for instance, you do have with another professor or some issue that you're not getting what you need, you can contact this hotline, and they most likely will tell you to go to your program chair. And for educational studies, that's me. So you would contact me then, even if it's another instructor you may be having some issues with. But as long as you have tried to resolve those issues with your instructor and you haven't been successful, you could call this line because, of course, you probably don't know that you would contact me next. And a lot of people don't know that I am the chair for educational studies now. I just became that this year. So, anyways, here is the hotline or the email you can use. Here's Title IX. If you feel as though you're not getting what you want from this course, and here's some statements of what, then you can contact Title IX, especially if you feel you're being discriminated against. You can use the social justice form link here if you feel as though that there's been an incident of social injustice or discrimination. If you need an accommodation, you should try to get that in writing, and you can do that with the Accessibility Services Office. And we ask you to do that because in this class, if you need accommodation, just tell me. I will be glad to honor it. But the problem is not all professors will do that without the paper to show that you have an actual diagnostic disability or something that is having you to have an accommodation. You have accommodation, and you do need that. By all means, you can reach out to the Accessibility Service Office to get that. But with me, again, I'm pretty easygoing in regards. I want to honor that for you. I want to help you out. In saying that, there are some university policies. Please don't plagiarize, even if you use AI. You are going to use AI. You quote it, or make sure that you use the resource. You're going to tell me in your AI assignment which one you used and how you used it anyway, so it doesn't apply to really. But if you were writing a paper and you were quoting somebody else and you did not cite the source, that is plagiarism. So please be careful. I do have an attendance policy even for my students who are online. You need to finish every week. If you don't finish the work in a week, that tells me you are absent, and you do have to go back and finish that. If you have 2 or more weeks that you don't do work, it will lower your grade, and you do need to be alert of that. If you're having some medical issue or some family issue and you need some extra time, just tell me. Just reach out and tell me. You don't have to tell me all the details. You can just let me know, that there's a family problem or that you haven't been well. I will be glad to give you extra time. I understand, even in 8 weeks or 16 weeks, things happen along the way that you did not think that were going to happen, and now all of a sudden they have. So here's the late work policy. Here's my attendance policy. Here's the online attendance policy. And that is the syllabus quickly. You're more than welcome to peruse that at your leisure and read about it. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'm going to try to go back to our course, which I did do, and I will go back to the home page here. Again, you'll see the announcement here. I think I've covered everything now. I hope you stayed with me all the way through. I want to wish you a lot of luck this semester. I want to wish you a lot of success. Please know I'm here to help you to be successful, and I'm going to look forward to working with you this session, the last part of the semester for spring of 24. I'll see you online.